Back. Everyone dreams of a happy relationship, but most people search for it in the wrong places. It's not money, it's not looks, and it's not the fairy tale moments you see online. The real secret lies in the small, invisible choices we make every single day. And if you can master this one powerful ingredient, your relationship will not just survive, it will thrive in ways you never imagined. Welcome to Connected Souls. Back. I'm Leila Hormozi, here to help you heal, grow, and thrive in love and relationships. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing too much on what they expect instead of what they already have. Expectations are endless. They keep growing, shifting, and demanding more. A partner can give their best effort, yet when expectation overshadows appreciation, even the most loving gestures begin to feel inadequate. Gratitude, on the other hand, transforms the smallest acts into meaningful ones. When you say thank you for a simple effort, it carries more weight than demanding 100 grand gestures. Back. A person who feels valued naturally wants to give more, not because they are forced, but because they are inspired. When you pause and acknowledge the presence of your partner, you invite peace into the relationship. Back. Instead of saying, why didn't you do this? You begin to say, I'm so grateful you did that. Over time, this mindset shifts the energy of the relationship from pressure to harmony. Back. Every human being craves recognition. It doesn't matter how strong, independent, or successful someone is. Deep down, everyone wants to feel appreciated. Imagine working tirelessly at your job. Back. Giving your best every single day, but never receiving acknowledgement for your effort. Eventually, the fire dies out and resentment replaces motivation. The same principle applies to love. When someone feels unnoticed, they begin to question their worth in the relationship. But when gratitude is expressed consistently, it fuels their heart with joy and purpose. They feel that their role matters, that their presence carries weight, and that their love is valued. Gratitude becomes the spark that keeps their desire to give alive. Without it, even the strongest bonds can weaken under silent disappointments. With it, even ordinary moments feel extraordinary and worth cherishing. One of the most powerful things about gratitude is how it changes perspective. Expectations narrow the vision to what is missing, what is flawed, or what could be better. Gratitude widens the vision to see abundance, blessings, and growth. For example, instead of complaining that your partner did not meet one particular need, you start seeing the hundreds of ways they already show care and loyalty. Gratitude trains the heart to focus on presence, not absence. It shifts the question from, why don't I have more? To, how blessed am I already? This perspective alone brings peace and happiness because the mind is no longer dwelling on lack. The truth is, happiness in relationships is less about perfection and more about perception. Gratitude changes the way you perceive love, making imperfections bearable and blessings brighter. When you practice it, your relationship becomes a source of joy rather than stress. Gratitude also has a ripple effect. When you express it sincerely, it not only uplifts the one who receives it, but also strengthens your own sense of joy. Thank you might seem like a small act, but it holds incredible power. It reminds you of what is good and worthy in your life, and it reminds your partner of how meaningful their role is. That creates a cycle of positivity where each partner feels encouraged to continue giving their best. Expectations, in contrast, create a cycle of pressure. The more you expect, the less you appreciate and the less the other person feels motivated to fulfill those expectations. Gratitude breaks this negative cycle and starts a positive one. It teaches you to celebrate progress, not perfection. It opens your eyes to beauty in the ordinary, and that shift in energy makes love grow stronger every single day. Think about the times when you felt truly appreciated. Maybe with someone noticing your effort in a project or a friend recognizing the little things you did for them. That feeling of being valued has the power to light up your soul for hours, sometimes even days. Now imagine how powerful that can be in a relationship where both partners live under the same roof, sharing their lives and dreams. When gratitude is practiced daily, it becomes a protective shield against negativity. Arguments still happen, challenges still arise, but the foundation remains strong because both know they are cherished. Instead of holding grudges, they remember the kindness they received, and it softens their hearts. Gratitude makes forgiveness easier and strengthens the ability to weather storms together. It reminds both partners that love is not about keeping score, but about valuing effort, however small it may seem. Another dimension of gratitude is that it creates emotional safety. When a person feels constantly judged, they start to hide their true self. They become careful with their words, hesitant with their actions, and fearful of rejection. Expectations can easily create this cage of performance, where love feels conditional based on meeting a checklist. Gratitude, however, breaks that cage and replaces it with freedom. When someone knows they are valued for who they are, not just what they do, they feel safe to be authentic. That authenticity is the root of deep connection because true intimacy comes only when both people can be real. Gratitude assures them that they are enough, and that assurance allows vulnerability to flourish. Vulnerability, in turn, creates trust, and trust builds unshakable bonds. This cycle of safety and love is born not from expectations, but from appreciation. Gratitude also reminds you of the uniqueness of your partner. It's easy to fall into comparison, measuring your relationship against others, looking at what someone else's partner does, or wishing your life mirrored someone else's highlight reel. Back, expectations often grow out of comparison, leaving you dissatisfied with your reality. Gratitude, however, keeps you grounded in the uniqueness of your own journey. It reminds you that no one else has the exact love, the exact bond, or the exact story that you share. When you focus on gratitude, you begin to see your partner's uniqueness as a blessing instead of a shortcoming. You appreciate their qualities, their quirks, back, and their way of loving you. Instead of wishing for someone different, you begin to see that what you have is irreplaceable. Back, gratitude silences the noise of comparison and deepens appreciation for the one person standing beside you. What makes gratitude powerful is that it requires awareness. It's not about blindly saying thank you back. It's about noticing the effort and choosing to acknowledge it. That awareness sharpens your sensitivity to love in its simplest forms. You notice the way your partner makes time for you despite being tired. Back. You notice how they listen when you share your struggles. You notice the little sacrifices that might otherwise go unseen. By noticing, you create moments of connection that would have been lost. Back. Expectations blind you to these details because they focus only on what is lacking. Gratitude, however, magnifies them, turning ordinary actions into reminders of love. When you live in this state of awareness, back, you stop waiting for grand gestures to feel happy. Instead, happiness is found in the everyday reality of being loved and cared for. The greatest beauty of gratitude is that it is a choice. Our circumstances may not always be perfect, and no relationship will ever be without flaws. But gratitude is not about perfection, it's about perspective. You choose whether to see the lack or the blessing back, the weakness or the effort, the imperfection or the beauty. That choice defines the quality of your relationship more than any external factor. Back, gratitude empowers you to see love through the lens of abundance rather than scarcity. It reminds you that happiness is not found in waiting for more, but in appreciating what is already present. This choice made daily back. I shapes not just your relationship, but your entire emotional world. When gratitude becomes a habit, love grows deeper, peace grows stronger, and happiness becomes natural rather than forced. In every relationship, back, communication acts as the invisible bridge that connects two hearts and minds. Without it, misunderstandings grow like weeds, slowly suffocating the bond that once felt unbreakable. People often assume love alone is enough, but love without clear communication struggles to survive. Words have the power to heal or to hurt, to bring closeness or to create distance. When partners share openly, back, they allow their emotions, fears, and dreams to be understood. Silence may feel safer in the short term, but it builds walls that eventually separate people. Honest conversations, even when uncomfortable, prevent resentment from building inside. Through communication, trust is built because both partners know they are seen and heard. It becomes the oxygen that keeps the relationship alive and breathing. Back. When people feel safe enough to speak without fear of judgment, trust naturally deepens. Many relationships break not because love disappears, but because voices are ignored or dismissed. Back, listening is as important as speaking. Without it, communication becomes one-sided and empty. To truly hear someone is to value their feelings, even when you don't fully agree. This act of listening creates a safe space where the other person feels respected and valued. Trust is born in those moments where someone says, I may not agree, but I understand you. That understanding does not mean perfection, but it means presence. Communication that prioritizes listening softens anger and calms misunderstandings. The absence of it, however, back, creates loneliness even within companionship. The heart longs not just to be near someone, but to be understood by them. Clarity in communication prevents unnecessary pain and doubt. When words are vague, when emotions are hidden, the mind fills the gaps with assumptions. Assumptions often create stories that are far from the truth, breeding insecurity and fear. One simple explanation could save days of worry, back. Yet many hold back out of pride or discomfort. Clarity brings peace because it leaves no room for guessing games. When people communicate honestly about what they need, they reduce the possibility of silent frustrations. Back, a relationship is not a place for mind reading, it is a place for truth. Words spoken clearly create trust because they leave little space for confusion. The courage to be transparent becomes a gift. Back, reassuring the other person that there is nothing hidden. With clarity, even the hardest truths are easier to face. Conflicts are inevitable in any close bond, but how they are communicated makes all the difference. Back, arguments often escalate not because of the problem itself, but because of the way it is expressed. Anger, blame, and harsh words can destroy trust, even when the issue is small. On the other hand, back. Calm and respectful communication can resolve even the deepest disagreements. Speaking from a place of understanding instead of accusation creates room for healing. When someone says, this hurt me back and I want to work through it, it invites solutions instead of battles. Conflict handled through healthy communication becomes an opportunity to grow closer. It allows both partners to see each other's vulnerability and to respond with empathy. Trust is not destroyed by conflict. It is destroyed by silence or disrespect during conflict. With open dialogue, even wounds can lead to stronger bonds. Emotional intimacy thrives on communication. It is not enough to share space. Real connection requires sharing hearts. When people express their hopes, fears, and inner struggles back, they let the other person into their inner world. That act of opening up deepens trust because it signals, I trust you with the real me. Without communication, relationships remain on the surface, back, lacking depth and authenticity. People may live together but still feel like strangers if they never share what's inside. Vulnerability requires courage, but it also creates safety when met with compassion. Get back. The more you communicate honestly, the more layers of trust are built. Each word becomes a brick, strengthening the foundation of emotional closeness. Without it, the relationship weakens back because silence hides what needs to be healed or understood. Communication is not just about words, it is about tone, body language, and timing. The way something is said often matters more than the words themselves. A harsh tone can turn a loving sentence into an attack, while a gentle tone can soften even criticism. Trust grows when communication feels safe, calm, and respectful. Timing also matters. Choosing the right moment to speak makes the difference between connection and rejection. Bringing up issues when emotions are high often fuels anger instead of solutions. Waiting for a calm moment back, however, invites a productive conversation. Awareness of how, when, and where to communicate shows emotional maturity. Back. This sensitivity builds trust because it demonstrates care not only for your own feelings, but also for the other's well-being. Communication done with wisdom becomes a healing force. One of the overlooked aspects of communication is consistency. Words spoken once are not enough. They must be reinforced with actions and repeated over time. When someone communicates love, reassurance back, and honesty consistently, trust becomes unshakable. Inconsistency, however, plants seeds of doubt that grow into insecurity. Promises should match behavior, and words should align with truth back, or else communication loses its power. People often underestimate how small reassurances spoken regularly strengthen bonds. A simple reminder of love spoken sincerely carries weight far greater than silence. Back. Consistent communication reminds your partner that they're not forgotten or taken for granted. It shows that connection is a priority, not an afterthought. This reliability nurtures trust because it builds the certainty that love will not suddenly vanish. Through consistency, communication transforms from words into a dependable foundation. Openness in communication creates freedom back, while secrecy builds prisons. When people hide their feelings, avoid conversations, or keep parts of their life closed, it slowly erodes trust. The other person begins to sense distance, even if nothing is openly wrong. Get back. Openness doesn't mean sharing every detail, but it means being honest about what matters. It is the willingness to let someone into your world instead of shutting them out. Secrets may feel like protection back, but in relationships, they often create suspicion. Openness replaces that suspicion with certainty and closeness. It reassures the other person that they are part of your life, not left in the dark. Back. This type of communication strengthens bonds because it eliminates the fear of hidden truths. Transparency becomes a gift that keeps trust alive and growing. At its core, communication is the proof of love in action. Back. Feelings remain invisible unless they are expressed through words, tone, and gestures. Without expression, love risks being assumed rather than felt. Trust requires not only belief, but also reinforcement. Back, and communication provides that reinforcement. Every I love you, every honest explanation, every gentle reassurance tells the heart you are safe with me. Silence, in contrast, leaves room for doubt and fear to grow. Communication is how love speaks, and trust is how love listens. Both depend on each other to stay alive. When communication is strong, trust becomes unshakable, even in difficult times. When it is weak, even the strongest love begins to feel uncertain. Communication is not optional. It is the very lifeline of trust. Love is often seen as a feeling back, something that comes naturally and stays effortlessly, but the truth is much deeper. Feelings change with time, influenced by stress, routine, and the ups and downs of life. That is why lasting relationships are not built on fleeting emotions alone, but on daily choices. Choosing love means deciding to show kindness even when tired, to be patient even when frustrated, back, and to stay committed even when life gets difficult. Each day offers opportunities to either nurture the bond or neglect it, and the choice shapes the future of the relationship. Back. Love grows when it is actively fed through actions, not just left to survive on its own. A smile, a gentle word, or a small gesture can mean more than grand promises. Act of choosing creates stability because it is not dependent on mood swings. Love becomes stronger when both partners wake up each day and choose each other again. Daily choices build habits back, and those habits become the rhythm of a relationship. Just as physical health requires daily care through food and exercise, emotional health in relationships requires consistent attention. Small acts of love, repeated daily, create security and warmth that big occasional gestures cannot replace. Saying good morning with sincerity, checking in throughout the day, or offering a hug at night may seem simple, but they carry deep meaning. These choices remind both partners that they matter, that they are seen, and that they are valued. Love is not measured only by dramatic declarations, but by quiet consistency. When someone feels chosen every single day, doubts fade and trust deepens. Neglect, on the other hand, slowly chips away at closeness until distance takes over. The key is to see every day as a fresh opportunity to prove love through actions, however small they may be. Choosing love daily also means practicing patience. No one is perfect, and imperfections often reveal themselves most strongly in close relationships. It is easy to become irritated or disappointed, but patience allows room for growth and forgiveness. Choosing love in these moments means holding back harsh words and replacing them with understanding. It means giving space when needed, but also extending support when the other feels weak. Patience communicates Back. I see your flaws, but I choose you anyway. This mindset builds resilience in the bond because it assures both partners that mistakes will not define the relationship. Instead of keeping score, back, the focus shifts to moving forward together. Love that chooses patience is love that lasts through storms. Daily patience prevents resentment from taking root and ensures that peace is prioritized over pride. It is in these quiet, deliberate choices that real happiness grows. Forgiveness plays a central role in the daily choice of love. Human beings make mistakes, say the wrong things, back, or fail to meet expectations from time to time. Without forgiveness, small issues accumulate into heavy burdens that weigh down the relationship. Choosing love means letting go of grudges and choosing understanding over bitterness. Forgiveness does not erase pain instantly, but it prevents anger from becoming permanent. Each day, back, partners must decide whether to hold on to resentment or to move forward with grace. Forgiveness strengthens the bond because it shows that the relationship is more important than the mistake. Back, it reminds both people that love is not fragile, but strong enough to survive challenges. Choosing forgiveness daily allows space for healing and new beginnings. It builds an environment where growth is possible, and love is not crushed by imperfection. Every act of forgiveness is proof of choosing love over ego. Another way of choosing love daily is through intentional communication. Relationships weaken when silence replaces honesty or when distractions steal attention away. Choosing love means making time to talk, to listen, and to connect at a deeper level every day. It is about asking back, how are you really doing? And listening with the heart, not just the ears. These conversations keep the bond alive because they remind both partners of their importance in each other's lives. Even a few minutes of undivided attention each day can make a significant difference. It signals, you matter to me more than anything else right now. Love must be expressed to be felt back, and communication is one of its most powerful expressions. By choosing to communicate daily, couples prevent distance from creeping in. Each word shared in honesty becomes a thread that weaves trust and intimacy. Choosing love daily means choosing connection over distraction. Sacrifice is another daily choice that sustains love. Sacrifice does not mean losing oneself or abandoning personal dreams back, but it does mean putting the relationship above selfish desires. It is about compromising for the sake of harmony, sharing responsibilities, and being willing to step in when the other person is overwhelmed. Back, choosing love means being willing to give without always calculating what you will get back. These sacrifices, though sometimes small, create a sense of teamwork that strengthens the bond. Back, it might be staying up late to comfort your partner after a long day or taking on an extra task to lighten their load. These actions whisper, "Oh, your happiness matters to me." Such choices build loyalty because they prove love is more than words. It is action. Sacrifice made daily becomes proof of dedication, showing that love is not about convenience but commitment. Choosing love is choosing to serve rather than to demand. Choosing love daily also requires mindfulness. Back, it is easy to take someone for granted when you see them every day. Familiarity can blind us to the value of what we already have. But mindfulness helps us stay aware, to appreciate the presence of the other person as a gift. Choosing love means pausing to notice the smile, the laugh, or the effort made for you. It means acknowledging those things instead of letting them go unnoticed. It back. Gratitude, when practiced daily, strengthens this mindfulness and prevents neglect. By staying present in the relationship, you stop chasing illusions of what could be and start appreciating what already is. Love thrives in the present moment, not in regrets of the past or fears of the future. Mindfulness keeps the heart grounded in what truly matters. Each day, this conscious awareness becomes another way of saying, back, I choose you. The daily choice of love also involves growth. Relationships stagnate when they are not nurtured, but growth requires effort and learning. Choosing love means being willing to evolve back, to learn new ways of supporting each other and to adapt as life changes. It means asking, how can I love you better today than I did yesterday? Growth strengthens bonds because it prevents the relationship from falling into monotony. It brings excitement, renewal, and freshness to the connection. Back. Small efforts such as learning your partner's changing needs, supporting their dreams, or creating new shared experiences keep love alive. Stagnation leads to boredom, but growth keeps the bond vibrant and dynamic. Back. Choosing love daily is choosing to invest in the future, not just enjoy the present. It is proof that love is alive and moving forward. Growth is the fuel that keeps relationships thriving through all seasons of life. But at the heart of it all, choosing love daily means realizing that love is not an accident, but a decision. It back. It is not something that only happens at the beginning of a relationship, but something that must continue throughout the journey. Feelings will rise and fall, challenges will come and go back, but the choice to love remains constant. Every day you stand at a crossroads, choose selfness or selflessness, neglect or attention, bitterness or forgiveness. It back. These daily choices shape the story of the relationship far more than circumstances ever could. Love that is chosen daily becomes unshakable because it is grounded not in convenience, but in commitment. It transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys of togetherness. To choose love each day is to build a foundation that no storm can destroy. And in the end, back, this consistent choice is the true secret ingredient to a happy relationship. If this touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe and join our soul family.